their feet.
Yeah, they do. United is more of the same. They're still uncertain in every area of the pitch. They're still not scoring enough goals. In the midfield, they still don't have enough legs. At the back, they're all over the place. Three at the back. And in goal, you got one keeper who can't catch and another one who's making his debut in English football against a striker playing for Manchester City who scored 5 goals for his country.
Before we saw that video, Donnarumma in at City, does he go straight in? What happens with Bayern? Will they play Senne Lammens? Seems like that's what we're waiting to see. Who starts in goal?
Well, Bayern is going to start. He's already come out, Ruben Amorim, today, and he's told us this. When Martinez looked like he was going to leave Aston Villa and go to Man United, I was like, at last. At last, we've got a Man United signing. Someone we can identify with the club of Manchester United. Huge signing, a World Cup winner, someone who swaggers down that tunnel, leads the team out, but that fell on its face. Lammens might be a good goalkeeper. He's not ready at the moment, obviously. Bayern will play, so I was hoping to see Emi Martinez against Donnarumma. It's not going to be out. And Darren's absolutely right. You're talking about a striker in Haaland. Yes, the team's not doing well, but that boy is so relentless. He just continues. He's just single-mindedness just to score goals. And there's no better team to score goals against than Manchester United. So
you believe that Senne Lammens isn't going to start because the manager said it? Or you don't think there's any...
100%. We're talking about the most honest manager in the history of the Premier League. I mean, this man does not tell lies. I mean, he comes out and tells you how bad his team is before the interviewer even asks the question. So, look, if he says Bayern is going to play, I'm taking his word for it, 100%.
Yeah, we've not even talked about Onana because, of course, he had to leave, and Ruben Amorim reveals why Andre Onana had to leave and that Bayern will start for United in the Manchester derby. Check this out.
We saw Andre Onana did a very, very good season in Inter. The quality is there, but we are in the club sometimes. In the moment, things are is getting harder and harder, and you can be really experienced. But in this club, the pressure sometimes is so hard on every detail. Sometimes you need a change. So we believe a lot in our goalkeepers. I believe in Altay. He's ready to play, and he's going to play.
And Donnarumma straight in for you.
I have no concerns whatsoever about one of the best keepers in the world. He was outstanding for PSG last season. There is an argument for saying that in the league in France, he probably wasn't as consistent. But for me, his authority, the calm, well, you played, so you know how important it is. I think it was Team Flowers who you played in front of. But when you've got a good goalkeeper, that transmits confidence throughout the rest of the side. When you've got someone who's fresh from winning the Champions League, he doesn't come in with any doubts whatsoever. I have got no worries about him and Manchester City. It's at the Etihad. They should make light work of Manchester United. We will do this every time I come on your show. United with 3 at the back simply does not work, and this season's going to be more of the same.
Yeah, that is very interesting, especially when you mentioned Bayern. Did you say he can't catch?
I said
you said he can't catch?
Listen, you look at any bit of footage, balls in from the wide areas, balls in from corners. You look at the goals they've conceded already so far this season and the utter panic in the United back line. Now, City don't have the height, apart from Haaland, to capitalise on that, but I think they will find ways to cause that panic in that back line for United that they can maybe capitalise from with the second ball, maybe find ways to split that defence, which is so uncertain, to find a space in the wide areas when the fullbacks push on. There are so many points of attack against Manchester United. There are no stats that are going to convince me that this is going to be a tight game. City will win.
So that chaos that you're talking about in the back line, we saw a little bit of that from Burnley, right? And United getting that winner late on in the end. At which point does Ruben Amorim abandon this structure that he has defensively, or does he stick with it?
Well, he should abandon it. He should change his ways. He should tweak it. He's being very stubborn with it. But do I think he will change it? Absolutely not. 100% he will stick to what he believes in. But unfortunately, it'll end up him leaving the football club and have to go and manage somewhere else. Look, the positives from the game against Burnley is that they kept going. Burnley never went away. and they dug in when they needed to, and they finally got a result. Look, their start of the season has been better than Man City's, isn't it? So, you know, we're being very harsh on them, but we can see something. They've got a lot of problems defensively. Good for Mbeumo there to score. He's scored a couple of goals now since he's been at the club. But they're just leaking goals, and largely
look at those goals, though, that they're conceding. A throw-in, panic in the box. A cross, panic in the box. There's no authority. There's no taking responsibility. You've won the league, so you know what it takes to be able to take responsibility. Are you seeing that?
They've got to be consistent. They've got to know, and they've got to believe in what the manager's telling them. And at the moment, it looks like I believe that they can play with three at the back, but they can't play three at the back at the moment because they're not being taught properly. You know, normally you need, you know, you would say, give me a pre-season. Obviously, he's went in there against his wishes at the back end of last season, which is a cheek, really, because when Man United come calling, you should go as soon as possible if you're going to get the job at Manchester United. He went in there against his wishes. Now he got the pre-season. He's had a lot of time to work. Are we seeing any improvements with that formations? Absolutely not. We're looking like a group of players who are onto the scene and went to a competition in the international frame. He's a very good player. And I think he's adaptable to play in any position. I think he can play as a 10. No matter, he probably wants to play there. He's not going to play as a 10 at Manchester United. I think he could play as an 8. I think he's got the legs, still a young man, to get up and down. I think he takes the ball in very well. He could probably play as a 6, but he needs to know the game, needs to learn, needs to still develop. I'm not sure, some of these young lads, they get so much so early and they get their wash bags under their arm at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon and they think it's time to go home. But no, it's actually time to develop and keep working. But unfortunately now you have sports scientists at these clubs and say, no, you're in the red zone, you need to come off the training field. No, what he needs to do is improve on what he's not good at. And he's still not good at a lot of things. But there's a lot of players who are playing in front of him in that Manchester United shirt who I wouldn't have in front of Kobbie Mainoo. Now, from the outside, you think there must be something, well, I'm not seeing within the club to keep him out of that team, because I believe he has all the attributes to play for Manchester United Football Club.
Yeah, so we're wondering, Kobbie Mainoo, Benjamin Šeško, as you mentioned, where are they? When are they going to start? And yet, everything we've said, Manchester United go into this one above Man City in the table. Doesn't happen often. I know it's early days, but City haven't made the greatest start. And actually, I know they take a while to get going. We know they go into a different mode, a different gear towards the end of the season. But by their standards, it's Pep Guardiola's worst start to a season.
It is. I think only once before, in 2004-05, did they lose the first two of the first 3 games of this season. And this is also very uncharacteristic of Manchester United. You have to give some credit to Brighton for the fight back, the character and the quality of the winning goal as well. And we can see it here. But I think as far as City are concerned, I'm less concerned. First of all, you've got Trafford there. Well, Donnarumma will be a much more imposing last line of defence when he plays, much more intimidating as well. But the other thing is that I look at the personnel in the City side. Rodri's back. It's going to take him all. You being a midfielder, you know it takes a while after you've been injured to get back in the groove. Alongside Nico Gonzalez, he's going to form that protective shield. They do have a weak spot. Mateus Nunes playing at right back, midfielder at right back. But apart from that, I look over the rest of the side. Reinders looks as though he's had a really good start. Cherky's a fantastic player. Marmoush has got 6 months of Premier League football under his belt. And Haaland is ready to rip it up. I think that City win this game.
It's a complete rebuild there. You can see there's so many players who've got to get used to the Premier League. We're talking about the most difficult, most competitive league in the world. And it does take them an awful long time, unfortunately, even though they've got world-class players around them. Haaland will put them into a false position until the team are ready to spring and win 10, 15 games towards the end of the season, because that's what they always do. Never, ever write off a Pep Guardiola team.
I think with me, Man United, I will shave this when they win 2 games in a row.
You and that guy with the...
Yeah, I was thinking of the guy who's did it with his hair. Well, I'm going to do it with this.
Oh, my
like
word.
Father Christmas by
Yeah, we
December.
won't need a Santa Claus. We'll just ask you to do it around December time. Do you think it's going to be a chaotic game, though? Yeah, I saw. Sorry.
Is that true?
Sorry, I did.
I think it will be
very good. Sorry.
I think it will be a chaotic game. I think it really will be. You know, two teams are, not firing on all cylinders. I think it's exactly what both teams need.
Yeah.
Not if you lose. It's exactly what both teams need if you win the game, and you win it convincingly. And I think Man City will be the team that will do that.
You think so, chaotic?
I think it will be chaotic because, as Tim was saying, they're still finding their feet. They're a good team, but it's going to take a while for them to be that unit that we expect them to be. But I think in the wide areas, Mbeumo's, he knows where the goal is. Cunha is going to be a danger. I still not, for me, Sesko, too much money at the moment for someone who hasn't really had the body of work to back it up. But I do think that while City are just taking a couple of minutes to find their stride, United will be plucky, but City will win.
Going in early with the predictions today. Going in early. Let's save it. I can't wait to hear what you say. I'm personally going for like 4-4, but I'll leave the predictions to you guys. Okay. Well, when we were last on Team Talks before the international break,
one of the biggest rivalries in the Premier League will be renewed on Sunday as Manchester City and Manchester United lock horns. Manchester City play host to the first Manchester derby of 2025-26 as they welcome crosstown rivals Manchester United to the Etihad Stadium in what promises to be a crunch Premier League clash. Pep Guardiola's side find themselves in the unfamiliar position of 13th in the table after losing 2 out of their opening 3 matches. The Red Devils are only a point ahead of their foes in 9th place, though Ruben Amorim's position is already under scrutiny following an underwhelming start. While talk of the title race may seem premature, a positive result in this fixture could well be a catalyst on the road to success for either side. United appeared to hit the ground running when they took to the field at Old Trafford against Arsenal on the opening weekend, but their enthusiasm in attack was ultimately fruitless as they lost the game 1-0. That game was followed by a 1-1 draw against Fulham, before they were unceremoniously dumped out of the Carabao Cup on penalties by Grimsby Town. The pressure is building on Amorim, but he got some reprieve as the Red Devils defeated Burnley in a 3-2 thriller just before the international break. Bruno Fernandes remains a key figure for United, with the club captain producing the goods in crucial moments, such as a last-minute penalty winner against Burnley. However, he will need the supporting chorus of Bryan Mbeumo and Benjamin Sesko to step up to share the burden soon. Defensively, Matthijs de Ligt has impressed for the Red Devils, but goalkeeper persists as a problem position. Amorim has confirmed that Matheus Cunha, Diogo Dalot and Mason Mount are all unavailable for the derby, but Nasser Mazraoui could be in line to start. Despite recruiting a new goalkeeper in the form of Sen Lammens, Amorim has confirmed that Altay Bayindir will start against City. "I believe in Altay," said the Portuguese. "He is ready to play and he is going to play." Lisandro Martinez, meanwhile, remains on the long road to recovery and will be out for a while yet.